Hey guys, this is Matt from Perfect PC. Today I'm just going to take you through a price to performance budget build and show you some of the parts that I've used, talk about some of the part selection, why I've used them and the performance that we can get out of them, and then I'll show you some benchmarks, the kind of performance that you can expect. Alright, let's crack on. Just a very pretty simple generic power supply here. This is the Thermaltake Smart RGB 600 watt. It's going to be absolutely fine for what we need to do. A little bit of lighting, it's a little bit of bling, fairly self-explanatory. 5-year warranty. Thermaltake's a good brand, and 80 plus. Nothing too crazy, but it'll get the job done nicely. All right, the powerhouse. This is the Ryzen 5600X. The reason we've gone with this particular processor is because it is the easiest to get the most out of without being too expensive on the other components. So that's why we've gone with that one, and I'll talk more about that in the benchmarks. But basically with this, when paired with a nice fast RAM kit, it takes the least amount of effort and tuning to really get the most out of. That competes with some of the very top end CPUs. So the best pick if you're on a budget. Alright. This is the SFX Swift 210 660 XT. Brilliant little card. When paired with the 5600X, it is a perfect combo. Games like Warzone. Warzone's a CPU-bound game. Same with the new Battlefield 2042 coming up here. So this CPU and this GPU will pair perfectly together, and you'll be pretty much able to max out most games with this combo at 1080p. And depending on your settings, I would always recommend you get a combo that's tuned to a monitor. This setup was really going to be tuned for 144Hz 1080p gaming. You lock your monitor to that. This combo is going to perform brilliantly. However, you want to do esport titles, you shouldn't have any issue pushing this high frame rates with this combo. We'll see more of that in the benchmark, but really good little budget build card. At the moment, these are coming in at about 900 NZD, so where we live, that's the best that we can sort of do with the budget section that we've got. Alright, a tried and true classic, the Hyper 212 LED Turbo ARGB. So this is just the updated version of a Hyper 212. It's got the twin fans, really just simple air cooler, nice and easy, and they look really nice as well. And this does a really good job of cooling down the 5600X. This is MSI B450M PRO-VDH Wi-Fi motherboard, includes Bluetooth as well. Just a really awesome little budget build motherboard here. It's got a little decent VRM heatsink, and it comes with Bluetooth, it comes with the Wi-Fi, which are just nice little bonuses for someone to have. And you can slot up to a 5950X in this thing, no problem, as long as you're not doing any major heavy thread counts. The VRM will be totally fine. So this offers a good bit of upgradability in the path. It's also got PCIe 4.0, and it's just a really brilliant little budget build. I really like the MSI motherboards as well because they've got excellent BIOSes. And so really easy to work on, really easy to tune, and they're quite stable. Big fan of MSI motherboards, and this one was a great pick to combo with the 5600X. Alright, in the case we went for a Deepcool MATREXX 5.0. Awesome case. 4 ARG fans, really easy to build in. Just clean, easy. I wouldn't put anything too powerful in here because the airflow's not absolute best, but for this combo, which is a relatively low powered combo, this will perform just fine. So that's the parts list. I've already done the build. I'll show you the build and then I'll crack into the benchmark. Now, what was missed was the memory kit. This is the most important part of the build. Now you might think the CPU or the GPU might be, but no, this here, making sure that you have the right RAM kit is absolutely paramount for ensuring that you can get the most out of your system. This helps with the not only the high FPS, but the 1% lows and the 0.1% lows, which you'll see in the benchmarks coming up here. But yeah, this kit here is the Patriot Vipers. This kit is the 2x16 PC4 32,000 kit. This is 4,000 megahertz, and the speeds off the top of my head is 1939. So it's definitely a BDI kit. And what we're going to do is we're going to be pairing this with the 5600. We're going to tune the memory manually to 3600 megahertz. We're going to get those timings down as low as we can. We'll aim for C14 and tighten up the sub timings there. And this combo, when combined with all these parts selected, just offers an absolutely brilliant price to performance option that really allows the CPU, the GPU to really stretch its legs. So make sure that you get really decent RAM with any build that you do, because it allows you to get the most out of the other components. Alright, so here we have the build. This is the exact end product here. In my opinion, it actually looks very nice. It came out really clean. Alright, now let's crack on with the benchmarks. Okay, so the settings are pretty self-explanatory. There's a couple of settings that are set off the bottom setting there, just for clarity. Most of it is pretty self-explanatory, and this just provides a nice high FPS figure that it doesn't look like complete ass. As I'm driving around here, you're going to see the FPS sort of bounce up and down a little bit. I think we've seen some lows of 165-ish, and it's peaked up around 200, and it's obviously Warzone's pretty hard to benchmark just by the nature of the game itself, and driving around is not always the best way to get a solid FPS figure there. But as you can see, we're sort of just going through different parts of the map here, sort of holding around that 200 mark with dips to sort of 165, 170, getting as high as 225, 230.
Other governments are releasing this information. The government must release all simulations, projections, data, and models that show the potential impact of this technology.
Okay, so that was primarily set up for max FPS settings. Now I'm just changing it for max clarity, utilizing the 144Hz monitor there. So what we do is we just screen cap that res, about 140Hz, and then we can tune up the graphics a bit more, so we're stretching the legs of the GPU and we're not bouncing over that 144 limit. That way it's going to ensure that it stays within your frame cap, and it'll provide the smoothest experience and also give you the greatest game clarity. This is personally how I like to play. I don't go for max FPS all the time. It is completely personal preference on how you like to do it. If I was running this rig 24/7, these are the settings that I would use, and this is what I would have.
Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly loadout drop on the way.
staring at the speaker.
Enemy team is tracking.
Battery dead, I gotta freeze them till they ice cold. In the freezer later, I'm staring at the speaker.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Staring at the speaker. Battery dead, I gotta freeze them till they ice cold. In the freezer later, I'm staring at the speaker.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Staring at the speaker. In the freezer later, I'm staring at the speaker.
Enemy UAV overhead. Gas inbound. Marking new safe zone. You've evaded the enemy traffic. Good work. Enemy UAV overhead. Gas inbound.
Alright guys, that takes us to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it, maybe learned something. Hit me up if you want any tips or tricks or advice helping tune your setup or rig. This is Matt from Perfect PC. I'm out.